deep sigh of relief because we are live.
Live
quarterback center exchange.
JV report.
AJ Zalewski.
Hey.
I'm AJ. We're a couple minutes late because AJ had to finish off his pickle.
That's what she
said.
Sorry,
we're interrupting your pickle.
That's what she said.
All righty. Excellent. Let's move on.
Like I said, I don't have much. Said?
What, eating pickles?
No, you said AJ was late because he had to finish off his pickle.
Yeah, I heard that part.
That's what she said.
I don't get it.
Okay.
Moving on to welcome to YouTube. If you're listening on SoundCloud, welcome to SoundCloud.
Wait a minute.
What's that?
There's a hand in the background. It's going to eat you.
Oh, there is a hand. That's Sarah's hand. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
You want to say hi to Sarah?
Hello.
Sarah.
She's the weather girl.
She is our weather girl. Absolutely. How's the weather today? Windy as balls is pretty sure what I heard. So
very good.
We saw the snow going sideways today, which is always unique and fun to watch.
Yep. I was fighting an uphill battle on a straight highway trying to get home today because of the wind blowing directly into my little car's face.
You know, I was the same way, just except a semi trying to come into my lane because of the wind. So that was cool.
Oh, well, and you drive a Prius, so he probably didn't even see you.
It's a Chrysler 200. It's not quite a Prius. We can talk to Mr. Dodge Stratus, man. Let me tell you all about the
Will Ferrell drives Dodge Stratus.
Will Ferrell, he might not anymore.
I think he still does.
Yeah, that skit was from so long ago, man.
Yeah.
Although it wouldn't surprise me if he still does.
Yeah.
Like I said, not much going on today. AJ, do you have any updates about the draft? Who do we want to see the Browns go number 1 now?
Tune in and find out at the QDOBA JV report pre-draft party on April whatever day it is.
I'm going to announce that, but QDOBA will be hosting the JV reports mock draft. We're going to do an entire first round mock draft live from QDOBA.
Thank God. I thought we were doing all 7 rounds. Holy crap.
No, we are not doing 7. We are doing 1. I can only count to 32. So
I can't
we will
even do that.
Yeah,
I thought there was only 25 teams in the NFL.
Oh, boy. Boy, you're thinking of a mix of arena football, college football, and the XFL.
That sounds like about 3,000 teams.
No, there's only 25.
Between the 3 of them.
Between the 3 of them. Well, the XFL only has like 4.
All right. Whatever. Anyways.
Let's talk football because the Giants have recently said that in order to get Odell Beckham Jr., someone's going to have to trade 2 first-round draft picks.
Yeah.
We thought that's far-fetched, but there's 2 teams with 2 first-round draft picks. Do you see the Bills or the Patriots making a move for Odell?
No, I don't.
Either of them?
No, because the Patriots the Patriots have 4 picks in the first 2 rounds this year, and they haven't had that many picks in the first 2 rounds of a draft in like the last 5 years. And they always manage to turn up really good players out of the picks that they have. So I think that Bill Belichick is going to value those 4 draft picks that he has. And they're going to be a lot cheaper combined and a lot younger. Well, not a lot younger, but they'll be a lot cheaper combined than having to take on Odell Beckham and then having to give him a contract where he's making $15 to $18 million a year, which Bill's not going to pay him.
No. So. Belichick, it's not just a fit.
And plus Odell Beckham he's a good receiver, don't get me wrong, but he's not a very precise route runner. He runs a lot of fades and a lot of posts and a lot of out routes, and that's about it. And to play in New England, you got to run the square in out, to a T every single time. That's why they got rid of Brandon Cooks. Is even though he was their leading receiver all year, he didn't really
have the crispest of routes.
He didn't have the crispest of routes. He was really fast, but Tom's arm wasn't really that great this year, I didn't think, and it was hard for him to hit him on a lot of those deep balls. He did score, he did lead the team in receptions, yards, and touchdowns, but he wasn't the Patriot fit for the offense, and that's why they got rid of him, and they ended up getting a first-round pick for him, which is, what they traded for him last year, but it's still a good deal in my opinion.
Oh yeah, they made a great flip for him. They're getting a first round pick and was it a fourth round? Oh no, they traded a fourth round.
Yep. And you know what's sad? There's two plays that I'll remember from Brandon Cooks' career in New England. And the first one is when he caught the touchdown against the Texans to win the game in the corner of the end zone when his feet weren't down and he didn't have the ball in his hands. But they said that was a catch. And the other one is when he caught the ball in the Super Bowl and then turned around and met Malcolm Jenkins' face mask and died.
That one I remember. I'm trying to think of the Texans one. I don't remember the Texans one, but
it's great. You should watch it because all the Pittsburgh Steelers fans, after their touchdown got overturned against the Patriots, they all went right back to that game because Tom Brady threw him that touchdown with like 20 seconds left, and it ended up winning him the game. But it was questionable as to whether or not it was a catch.
But it's the Patriots, so of course it's good for them. They win.
Right. That's why I said it's the only two plays that I'll remember from his time in New England.
You don't see him going to Buffalo either. Buffalo's got 2 first-round picks, but I doubt that they'd flip those picks for an Odell Beckham Jr.
No, if they do anything, they're going to try to trade up and draft somebody in the draft like a quarterback. If they like one of the quarterbacks. If they don't, they could just sit there and probably have Lamar Jackson because the Dolphins aren't going to draft him because the Dolphins are complete idiots. So they'll probably take like Josh Rosen or Josh Allen and just continue to suck. If they take Josh Allen, then we'll have 3 quarterbacks in the room who are Oompa Loompas that are 6'5", all wear number 17. So we could just put them all out there. They don't have the same jersey on and nobody would know who's out there sucking it up. So I think that's their plan.
Well, that's not too far off from the Bengals' plans. They seem to do that every year. But speaking of the Dolphins, the latest mock draft by Mike Mayock on ESPN, they had the Dolphins. Are the Dolphins number 6 pick?
They're the 11th pick, but he probably had them trading up to draft Baker Mayfield.
That's exactly what he had.
Yep, that's what everybody says. You know what that means?
We done with Tannehill?
No, that means that Baker Mayfield is not going to get drafted by the Dolphins. That's what that means. And it's going to be Josh Allen or Josh Rosen or some left tackle from Ole Miss that likes to post videos of himself smoking marijuana out of a gas mask from World War II, right when he's getting drafted. And then saying, it was an accident.
It wasn't an accident. He was hacked.
Whatever.
It was just,
he got hacked pretty good because he got hacked pretty dang good if somebody had that video of him, which it didn't seem like there was anybody else in the room because it seemed like the phone was on a table and he was just smoking it by himself.
Well, smoke
weed. Somebody hacked into his phone and took a video off of his phone and then posted it to Instagram. So it's pretty impressive hacking, if you ask me.
It's very impressive hacking, but
very impressive.
Can't count out the nerds. I mean, they've got some very impressive hacking going on.
All I'm saying is it's a bunch of horse shit. That's all I'm saying.
It was definitely Laramie Tunsil in that video, but it worked out for the Dolphins because he fell to the Dolphins.
Yeah, he sucks. He's terrible. And Miles Jack, he fell all the way to the 2nd round, and I thought they should have drafted him then, and they didn't. And then this past year they got Chris Harris or Charles Harris or whatever his name is from Missouri, who's a sack specialist and played about 3 snaps a game. He really was productive last year, and I'm really excited for the future.
Excellent.
Yep, the average age in the locker room is now 37 years old or something stupid.
Well, since we are a Miami Dolphins podcast, all we talk about is the Miami Dolphins here. Good for the Miami Dolphins. Congratulations on their future of not drafting Baker Mayfield when they trade up to get the 6th pick and then end up getting probably, I'm going to guess they will get an offensive tackle.
No, they're going to draft probably, if I had to guess, they're going to draft a linebacker, and it's not going to be any of the good ones. It's going to be some linebacker I never heard of, and he's going to suck, and then that'll be it.
That's the AJ Zalewski scouting report on the Miami Dolphins draft. Love it. Got a couple more topics.
And then they'll draft a quarterback in the 7th round. And they say, what? We drafted a quarterback, and then we'll have Brock Osweiler, Ryan Tannehill, and then some no-name.
Logan Woodside.
It won't even be Logan Woodside because there's going to be somebody I've really never heard of.
Did he have too good of a pro day that the Dolphins would skip on him?
I don't think the Dolphins were even at the Rockets pro day. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh, good. That's fantastic. Just a couple more topics I want to get to. Latest rumor, I don't know if you heard this one, but speaking of New England, was that the Patriots have all of a sudden have interest in shopping Rob Gronkowski. I mean, obviously it went from probably 0% chance of being traded to now like, hey, we'll at least listen. Any thoughts on that? Any thoughts on like a little trouble in paradise, or do you think there's just finally had enough of meshing Gronkowski's personality with Belichick's?
Well, I don't think Bill Belichick holds as much power as everybody thinks he does when it comes to the star players. Robert Kraft is pretty damn protective because if Bill had it his way, he would have kept Jimmy Garoppolo on a tag this year, and they would have released Tom Brady after this season or last season. If Bill had his way, Bill wanted Jimmy. He wants Jimmy Garoppolo so bad, and that's why he traded him to the 49ers, because he worked with Mike Shanahan for a while, and he knew Kyle Shanahan, and he knew that Kyle was a really good coach, and he knew that he would succeed there, and that's why he didn't trade him to Cleveland for 2 first-round picks. So if he had it his way, he would have got rid of Tom already, like they did with Joe Montana when they got Steve Young. I think they're going to try to shop Rob because, one, he's 28, but he's had like 3 back surgeries, shoulder surgery, elbow surgery, knee surgery, and probably countless concussions. He's been openly saying that he's contemplating retirement. So he could very well just decide in the middle of training camp, which I think is a real possibility. If he gets a concussion early in the year or whatever, or he hurts his back and he needs to have surgery or something, he'll just call it quits. He's already on the edge, so they're going to try to see what they can get for him.
Well, the thing that all the reporters are taken out of, and I know we're reporters, we're excellent reporters.
Certified reporters.
Certified.
We have press passes and everything.
All the big time reporters and journalists. They're Brandon Cooks.
We're not journalists. We don't write for a newspaper.
Brandon Cooks posted on his Instagram when he got traded, and Rob Gronkowski commented on it. Be free, congratulations, yada yada. And like now the journalists are all taking "be free" out of context. They're like, "Wow, is it like a prison in New England? Does Rob want freed from this prison?" I'm just interpreting what reporters are asking or like writing up now. Do you think it's like a harsh culture? I mean, I know it's a harsh culture. It's a football culture under Bill Belichick. Do you think it's a little too tough on these players wanting to get out of there? Do you think Cooks kind of requested it?
No, I don't think Cooks requested it. I think he would have stayed if he could. He was playing with the best quarterback of all time. And, if you think about it, the whole reason that they traded him is because he's in the last year of his contract. And what do the Patriots always do with young players when they're in the last year of their contract, i.e. Chandler Jones, the guy that got Jamie Collins when he got traded to Cleveland, they dump him. They trade him away for picks.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're not going to pay him.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, they would have but that's different because that's the player that they would have kept.
Yeah, no.
He would have got rid of Tom. But since they couldn't have both of them on the staff, he did Jimmy a favor by trading him to San Francisco because Bill knew. That's why he only got a second-round pick for him, because he could have got 2 first-round picks from Cleveland.
Oh, yeah. Do you think Logan Woodside is on his radar, Bill Belichick's?
It's a possibility.
I think he's on everybody's radar. I mean, he had a good pro day.
He did. He had a good pro day. He probably is on a lot of people's radars to be a solid number 2 quarterback for a good amount of time in the NFL. I don't know. I don't know. I think he's good. I haven't seen him play under center in, 4 years though. So,
right. Do you think it makes too big of a difference? I was listening to a talk show the other day about all these college quarterbacks who go from shotgun to under center in the pros. Do you think it makes that big of a difference that they have to adjust to it? Going from different styles of play? I
think that, let me put it this way. From my experiences of playing in college and in high school and running pretty much every offense under the sun, running a West Coast offense or what they call traditional NFL offense, where there's 3 receivers or usually 2 receivers, a tight end, a fullback, and a running back, and you're under center and you're doing 7-step drops, it's a lot harder to make reads when you have to drop that far back and you have to evaluate the line of scrimmage from 5 yards closer than you do behind the line of scrimmage. And even if you've never taken a snap under center, it can be taught how to receive a snap, but it all is something that takes a lot of time to learn. And when you add that on top of this, of how much faster the NFL game is compared to college and how much more complex a lot of these coordinators like to make plays than they do in college for the quarterbacks to have to read through, I think it can be a struggle for people sometimes, for sure. But there's a lot of instances where, like in Houston per se, where if they, change their offensive playbook, even in Philly, what they did with Nick Foles this year, because he pretty much ran a college offense with Chip Kelly, where it's one read half the field for passing plays, one read where you're reading just the corner. If he moves up, you're going to throw the corner. If he backs off, you throw the hitch on a smash route. So if they adjust and not have these 8,000 plays like John Gruden does, then the quarterback can't be successful.
Well, I think from a center standpoint, I think it's easy. We adjust for you guys. I think you guys are just being a little prima donna.
Yeah, it's really easy, especially when the line doesn't block for no matter what you're in. So
it's a concept of changing the ball grip for like this to this and that to that.
Yeah, and the part of not blocking hasn't changed for you either. So
no, it hasn't. A couple more topics. Well, these will be quick because they're non-football related, so who really cares? Baseball, let's talk real quick because Giancarlo Stanton made his Yankee Stadium debut yesterday. 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts, and he's already getting booed by Yankees fans. A little too brutal.
I think they're just messing with him, to be honest with you, because he did hit 2 home runs on opening day in Toronto. He's going to play really well, and the Yankees are going to be very, very close. They'll be in the mix. I think there's a very good chance that they beat the Astros in the playoffs and go to the World Series and win the World Series.
Just that good of a lineup.
I had the black guy that plays second base or whatever had 8 RBIs and 3 home runs yesterday. I never heard of him.
Didi Gregorius. You never heard of Didi Gregorius?
No, you can't even say his name right.
Didi Gregorius? How do you say his name?
Is that how you say his name?
It is Didi Gregorius, and he was basically the replacement of Derek Jeter because he actually plays shortstop.
Oh, whatever. Same thing. No, I've never heard of him.
But, of course, Giancarlo Stanton today, in his first at-bat back in Yankee Stadium, hits a home run. So I think he'll be just fine.
Yeah,
there.
He will be just fine.
Lastly, who's your favorite for the Masters this weekend?
Tiger Woods.
I knew it.
Hey, one more thing. I don't know if you saw, but the NBA, they've been they're running a league, esports league, the 2K league, and the draft was today at 1:00. And Adam Silver delivered the first pick, and the guy that was drafted by the Dallas Mavericks basketball team was from Cleveland, Ohio. His name is Dimes.
Oh, I knew it was Dimes. I didn't know he's from Cleveland.
Yeah, I read it on the Twitch.
Well, congratulations to Dimes
and
your first round pick.
And all 102 of the players that got drafted are getting paid housing to relocate to where the team is. Yeah, they're making 30 to 35 grand as a base salary, plus health benefits and retirement 401k. And on top of all that, there's a bonus pool of $1 million that's distributed based on how individual players perform and the teams perform. So
what are we doing playing Madden? Let's get on 2K.
You don't play Madden.
You're right. I got to get off Fortnite.
Oh, you play Fortnite still? I thought you just got like 6 new games.
I got Far Cry. I play Far Cry now. That's a good game.
You don't even know what game you play, obviously.
Obviously. Now I'm back and forth between Far Cry and MLB The Show right now.
And so there's no Fortnite in there at all?
Every once in a great while.
But you just said you got to get off Fortnite. You know what? That's a fine.
It's a fine. Well, hey, one more question for you, AJ. I don't know if you've heard of this thing called the JV Report, but they're running a little competition right now about the hashtag JV Best of Northwest of all the golf courses in Northwest.
I thought it was a bracket. Why is it a competition?
It's a bracket. It's set up as a bracket.
Okay.
What's your early favorite for the best golf course of Toledo?
Well, considering that I thought Maple Grove was in Toledo, but it's in Michigan, that was going to be my pick. But since that one's not in there because we're secluding the great Maple Grove, the best golf course in the whole country.
Let me just stop you right there because I have. Let me tell you right there.
The first hole, man, is 8,000 yards. You got to get your driver, hit it 500 yards, re-tee up in the middle of the infield, whatever it's called, and re-tee it from there again.
In the brackets. But unfortunately, due to restrictions of not wanting to have any courses have a bye week, I limited it at 32. And the 32nd course that I got rid of in order to put in a 32nd Toledo-based course was Maple Grove.
Well,
I even took out Legacy, which is in Temperance,
I'm
Which is probably
taking
one of the
Maple
best.
Grove. Maple
got
Grove
Maple
is the
Grove coming.
best. Their hot dogs are awesome. They have a batting cage there too. It's the best place in the universe. And they got a par 3 course.
They do have a par 3 course. Well, what's your second favorite Northwest Ohio course? Because that's Maple Grove is in Temperance, but it's considered Northwest Ohio, I guess. Who's your early favorite?
One of my favorites who probably won't win, I think, actually, is Valleywood. Played in the golf league there once out in Swanton. I like that course. Obviously, you got Inverness, which is probably going to end up – if it was a national audience that was voting and it was just based on how many U.S. Senior Opens were played there, the Inverness would win.
Well, yeah, no
because they haven't played any Senior Opens at Maple Grove yet. I don't know why. I've written a lot of letters to U.S. Golf Association to figure that out, and they haven't gotten back to me.
We'll put that in next. We'll put that. We'll construct something to have a major tournament at Maple Grove.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
We're not stopping at the Senior Open.
Yeah, let's move the British Open to Maple Grove.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll show them.
We'll show Augusta who's boss and have the Masters at Maple. the Maple Masters.
Bunch of idiots on the radio.
Maple Masters, you heard it here. We'll put it together for you, Maple Groves. Don't worry.
We'll hold our own We'll hold our own golf tournament at Maple Grove. Then
there you go, the JV Open. How about
that?
Yeah.
JV.
I have been thinking about having a JV Open this summer. I think that would be fun.
How about it? Not a JV Open. How about a JV golf outing? And we can still call it the JV Open, but it's a scrambles and it isn't an actual. Yeah, so I can play.
That was way too long. I like JV Open better.
Okay. Whatever.
Well, Valleywood, you heard it here first. AJ's pick is Valleywood.
Wait, who's your pick?
I put Forest Creason in there, even though Forest Creason closed. But, man, that is one of my favorite courses of all time.
So you put a dead course in there over Maple Grove?
In the hopes of resurrecting.
I hate you.
We just had Easter weekend. I'm all in the resurrecting mode. So, and I'm gone. But no, my pick is another course here in Bowling Green. It's called Stone Ridge. One of my favorite courses. That's my early.
Do you have to have a membership to play there?
Nope.
How much does it cost?
After 5 o'clock, it's $25 for 18 holes.
25! Holy crap! Over at Maple Grove, you can get in 18 with a cart for 18. No, you can't. That's Ottawa Park.
I was gonna say Tamaron does that too. I think it's 18 in the cart for 18.
Yeah, I do like Tamaron. That's over by my house over here.
Yeah, Tamaron is in there, man. I think they're down right now. If you want to go vote for them.
I already voted for all the courses that I saw.
Oh, did you?
I'm pretty sure. I think I might have voted for Tamaron.
Excellent, man. Good man. Well, that's our show. My dog's starting to bark, so you know what that means. It means it's time for the show to end. So if you like what you saw, go ahead and leave us a subscribe.
Like us a note.
Like us a note. Subscribe to our SoundCloud so you can download us on your phone and listen to us and stuff, because like that's what people do. The hipster move is to listen to podcasts on your phone while driving in cars and stuff. So thank you for your time. We can't wait to see you all next week. And don't forget about the Qdoba draft party.
What?
Qdoba draft party. Tell everyone goodbye.
What?
Eh?